if they look like they're workable. Just anything to really look after the islands that we all live in.
The reason why I ask that is because, you have a techno giant like Google and yourself coming together, I know that people have to have this wide mind frame to actually say, well, listen, this is what we're going to get it, because it can be bigger than what we're really taking it for. There's a lot of people out there. If you read the media papers, they are saying this is too good to be true, Richie. They're saying that, why the BVI? You could have gone anywhere else and invested this sort of time and money. They're asking, is this too good to be true, and is there any catch with all of this? Would you mind clearing all the critics' mind right now as far as this goes? Because this is where we're at right now.
I think if you live somewhere, charity begins at home, and I think it's very important that you play your part in the local community, and over the years we've done quite a lot, sort of quietly with various charities in the BVI, helping them along. But on this particular occasion, it needed publicity so people could get their ideas thought up and get their ideas submitted, we both, Larry and I, have been incredibly fortunate in that our businesses have been successful, we both started from nothing. Larry started in a garage, coming up with the idea of, or inventing the sort of first Google machine in his garage, having left college early. I started in a phone box in my school, selling advertising for a magazine that I wanted to launch to try to campaign against the Vietnamese War, which was an unnecessary war. And so we both started from scratch. I don't think I didn't have any mentors. I know I would have been helped a lot if I'd had mentors to help me get my business going. And so through our personal experiences, we'd like to help others.
Let me say good morning to your mother. You love your mother like I love my mother. I like that about you. Very much. The other day you was mentioning that your mom actually found a bracelet and brought it into the police, and it was there, did not get claimed. You got back that bracelet, you sold it for $300, and then the whole business become so realistic. And here we are, 2013, talking with you, one of the most influential minds, and also a very, very financially strong giant among us. Now, you've lived in the BVI for quite a while, and let me ask, what are other initiatives you would like to see happen for business and for the Virgin Island as a whole, away from this great step that you've taken?
Well, I think the most important thing that the world can do, and I think the BVI can lead on this, and I know that this government have been out there looking at exactly this, is turning the BVI green. Energy, the imported energy that people pay for is very, very expensive in the BVI. Because it has to be transported from the Middle East via refineries, and then onto new ships, and then further ships to get here, and so on. So if we can transform the BVI and make sure that it's powered by solar and wind, it will save people a lot of money, and we'll play our bit in stopping the seas rising, which they will do as global warming continues to happen, which will wreak terrible damage in the BVI. So, so in fact the government have actually asked us to help them in coming up with a plan, we'll see what we can do, and see, and I'm absolutely sure that it is possible with a government that's positive about it, and I think that's one of the most important things that can happen in the BVI.
Wow. I want to say good morning to Nick and Monica over there at Lavrix. They're logged on right now. Yeah, they're logged on. But of course, when you say you're going to assist with these plans that, the government, which is fairly young, it's just gotten in the other day, and the word on the street is that, there's been a lot of ups and downs for them. But to know that the government and the people at the British Virgin Islands have someone in their corner where, when everything is turning upside down on the other side of the world, you're here. Let's go over to the lemurs. You're very passionate about that. I had a small chat with you about, letting children and visitors who comes here on our cruise ships and who reside here get familiar with this cause that you have taken up on yourself. Talk to me about the lemurs and the passion that you have for these animals.
Well, I'm passionate about any species that are disappearing in the world. The tigers in India, they're disappearing. The sharks are being slaughtered, 1.5 million a week for their fins, just for soup. They're disappearing. The rhino is being slaughtered, and the elephant for its tusks and for its horns. And the lemurs are CITES 1. They're the most endangered species on Earth because in Madagascar their habitat has disappeared. So what we're trying to do is get them from the zoos where they're not breeding because they don't have enough space. Give them some space and set up a breeding program so that future generations can be sure to see these very sort of gentle, very beautiful creatures and make sure they don't disappear from the earth. And I think any human being on the earth who can make a difference and try to keep species alive has a duty to do so.
Marvelous. We know, I saw them. There are 6 species over there at Necker Island right now.
There are, I think 7, but anyway, 6 or 7 was the 2 of the species are very, very difficult to tell apart. But they're breeding well, and I think there were 1 or 2 articles which got it wrong before they came, saying that they ate lizards, etc.
Yes,
they're purely vegetarian. They love fruit. they love vegetables. They love neem trees. They love tamarind fruit. And so we're in the process of planting lots of tamarind and lots of neem so that they can be self-sufficient in fuel. And we're very, very pleased this week that we had our first twin lemurs born. So when kids come and have a look, they'll be able to check out the twin lemurs.
You keep saying that when the kids come. Talk to me about that, because that seems like you're in the planning of letting the schools get a part of this action, or are you going to bring it to Tortola? This is something that is concerned about when it comes to, changing the landscape of the British Virgin Islands, because 20, 30 years down the road, this legacy will forever be attached to Sir Richard Branson. What are the plans with children? You keep mentioning that because I know that's very important.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of kids have come to Necker brought by their teachers and have been shown around to see the flamingos and the giant tortoises and the scarlet ibis and the lemurs and iguanas, etc. And we're delighted to organise those tours, and obviously they can come for nothing. Gumption, we've also said that on once a week when there are no guests on Necker, he can also with tourists bring some people along, and then in time the money that they pay can go towards lemur conservation back in Madagascar and other places.
Wow. Is there any plan to take them back to Madagascar, or they're going to be here with us forever, as far as you go?
I think that whatever happens, I think that people are not going to want to let the lemurs go now they're here. But if one day we can build the numbers up, and if one day Madagascar gets a government they deserve, which protects the rainforests, and if some of these species have disappeared there altogether by then, which is quite possible, then yes, definitely we'll start reintroducing some of the babies in years to come.
I want to thank you so much. The business affair with you and Gumption, it is off. Gumption, is there anything you'd like to say while Sir Rich is here with us to firm it up more? Because you're a street person like myself, and to really see you got that opportunity. What's your take on all of this?
Well, my whole take is that dreams do come true, and like I keep saying, one of my favorite quotes that I love to use from Oprah is that when we feel all odds are against us, keep in mind that an airplane does take off against the wind. So not necessarily when things not going our way, we're not getting support from others, that necessarily don't mean we can't take off. Because right now, I am on the runway going full fast, and I'm about to take off like never before.
And you say you never take off before. Now, I know you when you were, out there. Your father passed off. Did you talk to Richie about this from a long time ago, or did Richard say, listen, me Gumption, you're over Necker Island on a regular basis, we like having you over here and everything, but I think you need to be a business person, you need to have a goal?
Well, to be honest, it was late February, early March. I did meet him in Levericks Bay.
Yes.
And it was kind of a party night, so the next day, obviously, Richard wouldn't recall anything, but...
Gumption wouldn't recall anything either.
Yes, you know what I mean? So, just being working on Nicker part-time, naturally, I had more of a chance to really to get to with him.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he called me on the side, and it was a perfect day because I had everything that I had for the bank statement, trade license, everything except a house and percent of the cash.
Yes.
So I sat down with Richard and I explained to him that, it's been 13 years I've been planning to own a glass bottom boat, and I doesn't have everything the bank required for me to have the glass bottom boat. And, after it was the last project that my father, who's now the Carnival of Virgin, got his name after, Darwin George.
Darwin George is your dad?
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. God bless him so.
Since it's the last main project we were working on, it was destined for me to get it. So after about 9 months later, I finally met with Richard on the island. He was on his way to New York. He told me there's a slight chance it cannot happen.
Mm-hmm.
He went to New York. He handled his business. As he get back, he contacted me right away.
Mm-hmm.
The 19th of October, right before sunset, I sat down by his house, beautiful sunset, and went over the plans again. And he asked me, this is what you really want, or like, this is what I really want, because I had 3 physical dreams in my sleep about this. 2 out of the 3 dreams, Richard was in the dream twice.
Okay.
In the 2 dreams that I had with Richard Branson, he was on the boat. So to have an official meeting on the boat that I own today was, beyond anything.
Vision.
It was vision, so it was destined,
Yeah,
so some people would tell people things that they want to hear, but if they was to hook up a lie detector test to me, they will see that everything I said is true. So Richard being on my side ain't no accident. It was destined that he was the one to be there, and it's doing pretty good.
Thank you. So, of course, you originated from Virgin Gorda, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, Richie, you're actually helping someone who actually come out of the soil, and it's good to know that you are spearheading these sort of activities. I'm going to read for people who wants to know more about the story. Could go to Virgin Islands News Online. They have the email address up and all of that. But Richie, before I go, you started the Go Green Festival. I love that idea. I think it's a Caribbean genie. That's a good vibes right now for what's going on, ecotourism and all of that. When will we get back some of that action?
I don't know what the details are. What we have got is a conference coming up on Necker with various prime ministers around the BVI, including obviously the chief minister who's co-hosting it with us in a couple of months' time, where quite a few of the prime ministers from the Caribbean are going to come to discuss how the Caribbean as a whole how we can protect the reefs better, how we can protect these species around the reefs better, and I really